Damian Warner is joining a gilded class of elite Canadian athletes to have won the Lou Marsh Trophy, and he very well may be the last. Because while Lou Marsh may be regarded by some as a sports writing pioneer, his work also relied on harmful tropes and openly stoked racist attitudes in the early 1900s.
His legacy goes really, really deep when we think about the impact, the way in which he influenced the way people thought about athletes, the way people thought about Indigenous people, about Black people, about Jewish people, about women.
Western University sociologist Janice Forsyth is leading a review of Marsh's work for the committee that oversees the award that bears his name and will next decide on whether or not to rename it, which journalist Mark Hebscher says is a no-brainer.
No chance is it the Lou Marsh Award in 2022.
When Marsh died in 1936, the Toronto Star dedicated 4 pages to its former sports editor, a good indicator as to his influence at the time. The story spoke of him as fearless, ever fair, respected, while ignoring the racist comments and epithets which laced his columns. What he routinely wrote about the great Indigenous runner Tom Longboat, among others, is unprintable today. He opposed calls to boycott the 1936 Berlin Games, and while the Star's news pages were filled with stories about the terrible treatment of Jews in Nazi Germany, Marsh called it an internal German matter.
So you could say, oh, sure, that's the way they spoke in those days. No, they didn't speak that way unless influential people like Lou Marsh told them that it was okay to speak that way.
Forsyth isn't looking to erase Marsh's past. She sees him as a historical figure we can learn from, but not necessarily honor.
I hope we're at a moment in time where we can reconsider the name of this award for someone who doesn't have this kind of legacy. I think we're at a moment in time where people are ready for this kind of change, and now's the time to do it.
Perhaps by honoring someone whose contributions to Canada go beyond sport. Mike Drolet, Global News, Toronto.